even higher. Clive, who became very loose-lipped after his third glass of Chardonnay, mentioned that a special Russian sanctions team had been assembled, drawing in expertise from across government. Putin had invaded Crimea, and they were talking about what was going to happen next. Marston knew both subjects would be of interest to Fairweather. He reminded himself to jot down the details as soon as he got home. His mind was occupied with money. His own money, not the billions in treasury funds that kept him busy during office hours. The clandestine payments he'd been receiving for just over a year were still coming through like clockwork. But he had discovered that unexpected wealth brought its own unique challenges, especially when that wealth had to be hidden from sight. It was almost a full-time job. He was thinking about opening a new account just to be safe. 2 accounts, one in Switzerland, one in the Bahamas. He knew better than anyone which countries provided information to the British government and which didn't. Just last week, he'd seen an official letter from the Central Bank of the Bahamas refusing to share details of an account that the British government claimed was being used by a software company to hide its assets from sight. A holiday to Nassau might be on the cards. Make an appointment with a banker who wouldn't ask questions, set up an account, dump money into it. Easy. A group of young men waved and called out to him. He glanced across and saw their football bouncing in his direction. He let it run past before continuing on his way, ignoring their angry shouts. Marston had told himself he'd save $100,000 and then stop. That point had come and gone in 2 months. When you had it, $100,000 really didn't seem like very much. In fact, once you had got used to flying business, wine from Berry Brothers, the way his new Tesla sped up away from other cars at the traffic lights, even $200,000 seemed like small change. Now, he was aiming for a straight million. He'd crossed the halfway line, and this new contract Fairweather had told him about meant that there was going to be plenty more in the coming months. There was even the possibility, according to Fairweather, that Marston would meet the client, something he had never done before.
"It's someone who understands the need for discretion,"
Fairweather had reassured him.
"Introducing him to my secret weapon, you, will underline just how far we are ahead of the opposition. It'll justify the exorbitant amounts we're going to charge him. It'll cement our relationship. You'll be an obscenely rich man before the year is out."
1 more year, Marston told himself. 1 more year and I'll stop. He'd reached a small copse of trees in the middle of the common when he saw a man up ahead pissing against a tree. Dark hoodie, baseball cap, jeans. The black puffer jacket made it difficult to gauge his build. He was unshaven, and a hand-rolled cigarette was stuck in the corner of his mouth. There was a bottle of something propped up against the base of the tree. The man glanced over his shoulder at Marston.
"Good time, mate."
He slurred his words. Drunk. Probably homeless too, thought Marston, struggling to keep the look of disgust off his face.
"Good time,"
the man said again. He didn't look aggressive, but who asked for the time these days? Who doesn't have a phone they can check? "Bugger off," Marston said, with more confidence than he felt, stumbling slightly on the uneven ground.
"Don't be an arsehole,"
the man said. He zipped up his trousers.
"I just asked for the time."
Marston quickened his pace.
"What about a cigarette?"
He didn't know how it had happened, but the man was close now, less than 10 feet away.
"I told you! Piss off!"
The punch came from nowhere. A glancing blow that cracked Marston's nose and sent him tumbling to the ground. The man immediately went to Marston's back pocket, taking out his wallet. Marston rolled over, putting his hands up to protect his face while kicking out with his legs to keep his attacker at bay.
"Help!"
he shouted. "Help!"
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.